The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps. The cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing,
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, Happy New Year. Welcome back. We're back. We were off for 2 weeks, you guys, because we had Christmas Eve, and then New Year's Eve. So we're back. True crime is back. I got to get all my cameras and stuff straightened out. I'll get that done by next week. But welcome, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a great New Year. How's everybody doing? Hello, Miss Cindy, Miss Lee. Thanks, Keith. Hello, Miss Crystal. How's everybody doing in the chat? Hi, Miss Cindy. I hope you're feeling better. Hello, Miss Lee. Hello, Miss Denise. Shout out to our friends in Canada. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. I hope y'all are doing well tonight. Miss Lois, come on in. Come on in, friends. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, 2026. I'm just telling y'all now, just from we do wait a minute. My name is Joni Skinner. I am your host this evening on Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. And wait a minute. I got to get stuff fixed. Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. We are streaming live from the Rift Nation Network on YouTube, Facebook. What did I forget, you guys? You can tell I've been off for 2 weeks. And Spotify, Apple Radio for podcasting. Welcome every Wednesday night where astrology meets true crime. I am a forensic astrologer where we combine event crime charts with what we call mapping, forensic mapping. which is a map. It gives us information to give to our wonderful search and rescue groups, law enforcement, families that go out and search for missing loved ones. And we're true crimers. We're on top of it. But just to give you a little heads up on 2026 regular astrology, like what you would do normally in your normal life, not forensic astrology. I hope nobody ever needs to do forensic astrology, but regular astrology, January the 2nd, 2026, we hit the ground running. We won't stop till about, I'm going to guess about August. So get ready. I'll tell you at the end of the show. I did a little slide for the end of the show for what's coming. But true crime, boy, it's gone nonstop. We are going tonight. We have 2 cases to cover. Such a tragedy with Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle, and that happened before Christmas. And we all know what happened there with the unaliving with his son. Rob Reiner, I grew, we used to sit every Sunday at 8 p.m. and watch All in the Family. I was little. And back then, All in the Family was edgy television at that time. It was pretty edgy. But I mean, it was hilarious. And he was a Hollywood icon, star, and just director, and just such a sad story. Very tragic. Well, I thought I'm going to take a look at his son Nick's chart. We're not going to look at the event chart because we know what happened, but we're going to take a look at Nick's chart. And, we have heard now that Nick had been suffering from what they were saying was allegedly schizophrenia. He was trying different medications, in and out of rehabs. And I'll show you in the chart. But, it was a hilarious show. Keith, back in the day, I don't know if y'all ever watched any reruns of, I was little, of All in the Family. Keith says that show wouldn't be favored today. Oh, it was hilarious. That's back when we could laugh. It was a great show. It was a groundbreaking show for its time. It was groundbreaking. And, they were all geniuses, but, it's just a very sad, what a talent. Rob Reiner, what a tragic talent with his movies. And then he went on to produce such phenomenal movies. We've lost an icon in his wife, and it's just such a tragedy. We're going to look at his son's chart, see what happened there. But the story that I'm going to feature tonight is a tragedy in Columbus. Now, this just happened over New Year's Eve. I don't know if y'all have heard about it or not, but let's get into it. It is, let me make this bigger. If I can remember, how to do it. Oh, I don't even know if I've got my name on there right. Oops. Oh, look, I've got Cindy's. Well, Cindy, I'm advertising Cindy's show on Monday nights. Whoopsie. Whoops. Well, I'll get it together next week. That's what happens when you've been off for 2 weeks. But I was on Keith's show last Monday, so that doesn't really count. So, but 2 weeks from true crime. But let's take a look at tragedy in Columbus, Ohio. Let's go to Columbus, friends. How many of y'all have heard of this situation with the Tepe couple in Columbus? Here is typically what we do is we look at where we're looking at on the map, which is Columbus is dead smack in the middle of Ohio. Ohio State is there. It's a college town. It's there we go. Columbus is right in the middle of Ohio. Go down a little, go south and over to by West Virginia. Go southeast. It says West Virginia. Right above that, it says Point Pleasant, West Virginia. That's in the mountains. That's in Appalachia. That's where my grandma and all of our family is from, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And all these places are on the Ohio River. And then we've got Portsmouth, and then, of course, Cincinnati, southwest. But Columbus is in the middle. Cleveland's up on the lake. So there's Columbus, and this is where this lovely couple, I'll show them to you. There we've got Monique, which everybody called her Mo, and her husband, Spencer Tepe. They would have been married. Well, yeah, they're still married where they're at. 5 years at the end of January. They lived in Columbus. He was a dentist. And he drove about an hour southeast to Athens, Ohio, every day to work in the dental office. There were 2 small children, 1 and 4. And here are some of their wedding photos. Everybody describes them. They got married in their home. Everybody describes him and her both as just a wonderful, wonderful couple. Loving couple, happy. She was a great mother. She loved to bake. She was a stay-at-home mom, and he was a very popular dentist. He loved to play golf. I mean, just like the perfect family, perfect couple. And this is where they lived. They lived in an area, it's called, in Columbus, which is, about $700,000, $800,000 homes. Now, there is talk that the outskirts of where they live are not great areas of Columbus, but it's not that bad. But some people are saying that Columbus, the crime rate's gone up and they've tried to hide it a little bit. I don't know if that's true. And they had been married inside their home where they were unalived and were a month shy of celebrating their 5th wedding anniversary. Here we go. Described Spencer as a devoted and proud father, fluent in Spanish, and he practiced at Athens, not Athens. Athens is if you're from Kentucky, but Athens Dental Depot. The owner of the business, Dr. Mark, was the first person to contact police on December 30th. So what happened is he didn't show up for work. And Dr. Mark was on vacation. So you can imagine that if Spencer was in charge of the business, you've got patients coming in, it's New Year's Eve, people, and he did not show up. He loved his job. They tried to call. So, of course, people are very frantic by now. His wife was not answering the phone. He was not. So they began to call 911 to do a wellness check. They said there's something wrong. And people went over to the house. They kept calling 911 back and saying, we hear children. We need to get inside. Well, at 10:03 a.m., one of Spencer's friends got into the Tepe's house and called the 911 operator and said, there's a body. He's unalived. He's laying next to his bed, off of his bed, and blah, blah, blah. So you can imagine what happened from there. So they discovered the couple's 2 young children were unharmed in the residence. You got to remember that. The children, we had a little one and a 4-year-old. Now, did the 4-year-old sleep through it? We don't know. The thing about this investigation is the police released a video, and I was going to upload it today, and I got busy and I forgot to upload it. But there is a video through the back alley that the police have released. You can't see anybody, but a person of interest. You can tell it's obviously a man with a hoodie on, but like most of the Ring cameras, you can't really see them. Now, there's a gal on YouTube who's doing a bang up job on this covering this case. It's Truth and Transparency. She's a true crimer on YouTube. What's interesting about her is she is local to Columbus. So she's actually walking where the person walked in the back alley on the cameras. She went around the neighborhood and has a lot of really good live shots. If you want to keep up with this case, I would check her out because she is local and she has local information, and she's really a good YouTuber as well. She counted 27 cameras around the area. 27 cameras, and they released one camera shot that's really not too clear. So that's a little odd. That's a little red flag to me. Now, the police were interested in footage from the surrounding neighborhood between midnight and 9 a.m. on December 30th, and they gave the area. However, yesterday, 2 days ago, they came back and said, no, check the cameras between 2 and 5 a.m. for a suspicious person or vehicle. They had narrowed down the time between 2 and 5 a.m. Now, we know that Spencer got up early because he had an hour and a half to drive to work. So he would have been up 4:35 in the morning to go to work, get ready and go to work, I imagine. So let's take a look at, and this is their home. Now, there's no garage. They have a keypad. They have a keypad access into the home. Police stated there was no forced entry. Was the door opened? No garage. The garage is in the back, but it's not attached to the home. And somebody even stated that, be mindful with garage door openers. Don't leave them in your car, because that's immediate access to get into your car, into your home by somebody. If they get in and ransack your car, then they're in your home. Before you know it, they're in. So just be mindful of that. Never leave your garage door opener in your car. And I know it's a habit that people do. So here's this beautiful home that they had in this area. People were leaving all kinds of stuff for them. People loved this couple. No known enemies, very much in love. Who would have done this? Nothing was out of place in the home. Family members have said, no robbery. What is going on here? So I thought, let's do, of course, we're going to do a chart and see if the chart tells us anything. Well, it tells me a couple of things, but remember, when we do forensic astrology for accuracy, we have to have a timestamp. The timestamp must be accurate. If I could get a timestamp off of one of those cameras, I could narrow down the chart and get a better chart. So I did a chart at 4 a.m. And I woke up in the middle of the night because I looked at it all last night and I thought, I don't like this chart. This is not the chart. I don't know why I thought that. So I did one for 2 a.m. and I was doing it and I thought, here it is. I think, I'm almost positive this is the chart. I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to nail this down between 2:30 a.m. as opposed to the 4 a.m. This my just what I think. They did find shell casings in the home. It was a 9mm. He had been powed several times. She, it appeared, once or twice. But they're not telling. So, like I said, they're keeping this a little tight-lipped. I'm going to show you something else on this. Okay, so here's our chart. Welcome back to True Crime Wednesdays, guys. Okay, so we're going to look at the pink arrows. The pink arrow, where we look at the first house, is in Libra. That's the victim. So I knew immediately, okay, I've got something here on the 2 a.m. chart, because Libra and Gemini in a forensic astrology chart are the only what we call duality signs. 2 or more perps, 2 or more victims. So we know that Mo and Spencer were the 2 victims. Libra fits perfectly in the victim slot. So I thought, oh, okay, here we go. I like this chart now. Not only that, Venus is the ruler of Libra. So we go to the 4th house, to the the other bottom pink arrow, and there's Venus. Where is Venus, you all? She's in the 4th house. What's the 4th house? The home. So now we have 2 people in the home. Okay. Now I was getting a little bit, I was like, okay, got it. Then we're going to look at the moon, because the moon is always the co-ruler for the victims. The moon is up in the 8th chart. That's usually for indications of unaliving. That's pretty much the 8th house in a forensic chart. So there they are. We know they were unalived. So we're going to look for the perp. The perp is always opposite of the ascendant. It's called the descendant, and it rules the 7th house in an astrology chart. So it's Aries, because Aries is the opposite of Libra. Who rules Aries? Mars. Well. Look who's Mars down at the bottom left. Perp is in their home. So not only do we have 2 victims, Venus is at the house, and now we have Mars in the home. So this is either the perp, this was when it started or happened, but the perp is there in the home, right? Whenever we have, if you want to look between Venus and Mars, we have the sun. Whenever the sun is near one of the victims, it's the victim is in imminent danger. That's just every time the sun is near them. It can also mean an older man. This chart, though, imminent danger fits in this chart because it's in between the 2. So let's see what the victims are attached to. The sun, it's their unaliving, because we've got the moon. What else do we have? What's interesting is we've got Neptune up in the 6th house at the top, hitting, almost going into Aries, 7th house. Neptune is all the cameras, right? So we've got cameras. Now I'm going to have you guys look at the 3rd house, Mercury. This is interesting. Mercury could either be communications or could be a car. Mercury is 1, 2, 3 squaring or 90 degrees away from Neptune, right? We've got Mercury, Neptune. So they're going to find the car or a car or cell phones pinging within the neighborhood. Remember, 3rd house is within the neighborhood. So either we've got the car in the 3rd house, or video or phone pings, because Mercury can be a cell phone. Mercury can be the cell phone. Now, what's amazing about the sixth house is the sixth house is very interesting. Sixth house can mean it's our daily routine. It's our work. It's what we do for work. But in an event chart, it can also mean a stalker, where somebody was watched. So I would be safe to say that either they knew the person, this wasn't random. Of course, we don't know why. Uranus is up in the 8th house, which is shocking, unexpected. So we've got that. But what else is interesting about this chart is go to the 10th house. The 10th house is what the public sees. If we've got this case has got really garnished a lot of interest right now. And Jupiter is up there. Now, Jupiter expands things. This case, for some reason, this case is going to take off even more so, which is good, because all ears and eyes and sharing this video and the camera information, you know, we've got 2 little babies that are not going to have either parent. So they got to catch whoever did this. Now, whenever we've got, especially Jupiter's abundance, it's growth, it expands things. If somebody's missing, it could be a church or a school, right? Up in the 10th house, that's also what law enforcement is doing. They know that the public is watching them. This person is going to get caught. Why do I say that? Because the 10th house has got Jupiter in it. And anytime we've got anything, a lot of activity in the 10th house, law enforcement's usually on top of it. This is what the public thinks, right? So keep sharing it. There are 27, according to Transparency. She counted 27 cameras. Now, 27 cameras around where they lived. You know darn well they've got a good picture of this person. That's just my opinion. But come on, you can't have 30 cameras in a neighborhood, and it's a small neighborhood. Everybody knows it. They were a popular couple. Everybody checked their cameras. I think, just my personal opinion, Jupiter in the 10th house, I think they know who did it. This is a very brazen attack. This took a lot of nerve, but left the children. Left the children. What's interesting about this, Truth and Transparency, she's really good. A lot of true crimers are doing this now too. And she pulled up, what was funny is, like on YouTube, you can tell who's watching your videos, if it's a male, if it's a female, where people are watching your YouTube videos. You can go into your studio and see all the analytics just to get information, like marketing. She checked they have a really wonderful wedding video that's online. Now, remember, this wedding video is 5 years old. So people that know them are not watching their wedding video now. But she went, this is how, she's a bright girl. She went and checked to see how many times right before this incident, this video was viewed 50 times, like 10 times a night. Repeated. And it was their home. Was somebody casing the home? I don't know. Also, she checked to see if their names had been Googled prior to the incident. Both his name was Googled first, and then hers was Googled again. And this was prior to the incident. So somebody was looking them up for some reason. Nobody knows. You know, Pluto in the 5th house could be, I don't know. And because I don't have, it's only at 2 degrees, it could easily be over in the 4th house. But I'm going to wait and see if somebody can get a time off of a camera, because I think more camera footage is going to come out, and I'll snag it off of one of the cameras to do a timestamp. So I'm a little leery about Pluto in the 5th house, but the 4th house is where it occurred, at the home, unexpected. And we see it was just a shock. But there's a lot of camera footage with Neptune. You know, Neptune can be drugs and alcohol, but oh yeah, Denise. Yeah, go check out. And she did a whole video on it. She did a whole video on the YouTube, the Google information. You can put in a name and check and see how many times people are viewed. Yeah. She did a whole video, and she's really good. She's got some really good tapes, Truth and Transparency on YouTube. And she's really covering this well. And she walks through the neighborhood and gives really good information. She's good. She's really good. Now, there was, some rumors about a 911 call that a woman had made from the home. The brother came out and stated, wait a minute, that was not a domestic incident. It was somebody, they had a party that night, and a gal and her boyfriend got into a fight, and the girl called 911. But, so see, that's how sometimes the internet can blow stuff up. But people mean well on this case. People really are meaning well on this case. But he cleared the air on that and said, no, they were not. They had no domestic issues whatsoever. There are exes. She had an ex. But, who doesn't? So we're going to have to wait and see on this one. I think they definitely know who it was. There was no robbery. Who knows, though? Maybe I guess you can't rule out anything at this point. Robbery, if it would show up in the 2nd house. Usually, if it's a robbery, it could show up in the 2nd house, because that's possessions, items, money. So I went ahead and mapped it, you guys, just to see. Okay. This map doesn't tell us anything because we don't know anything. It might be for somebody, if they knew them, they could find out. But I mapped it because I thought when they find the perp, which they're going to, that I know that I know, we'll be able to see if the map took us to the perp's house. So I mapped it, but it really doesn't tell me much because I don't, we don't have a missing persons. We just have a perp, right? I thought the area over to the left was in Athens. I marked where he worked. So there's Athens, where he drove every day, which is quite a while. That's quite a ways to drive every day to work. So that's that sad story, but we'll keep up with it. And I'll let you guys know if I hear anything on that one, and we'll keep up with that one. It's a sad, sad case. I'm telling you. Tragic with our with the little ones. Oh, Cindy, that's a great question. I didn't see Cindy's question. Let me check it. Let's go look at the do you guys have anything else on the chat? Oh, okay, here's Cindy. I'm sorry, I missed your question. Oh, Kathy says the extra person in the house is someone they knew. Hi, Rue. I'm late. Sorry. Hi, Rue. Cindy says, I wonder if they had been out earlier in the evening. Do they know what they had done that evening? No. But he had to work the following morning. So, maybe he worked that day. I have not heard Cindy. The next night was New Year's Eve, though. That was New Year's Eve. I wonder, and Lisa says, let's see, Lisa. I wonder if the perp's car Mercury is on video leaving the neighborhood. If they could narrow the time, maybe everyone would check their cameras. Absolutely. The police really have narrowed it down to between 2 and 5. So that's kind of telling me that they do have some stuff on a camera. They're just not releasing it. First, the police said between 9 and 5. Then they narrowed it down to 2 and 5. That's a great point. Great point, you guys. And Rue says, so sad for the babies. I know it. I know it. It's just heartbreaking. You know, a little 4-year-old is going to remember. So sad for those babies. I know it. It's just, I hate to see this with a couple, you know. You don't know. We don't know. But just horrible. Just the family is just naturally devastated. All right, you guys, I'll keep us posted. Like I said, if we'll keep up on this, it's starting to get a lot of traction in this case. And I think it's going to get more and more as it goes on because it's so sad. But now we'll take a look at, as we all have heard about the Reiner family. This is just beyond, I think this is beyond tragic. I heard this, I couldn't believe it. Beyond tragic. Now, this is their family. Nick is the one on the right, the last young man on the right. And there's another son and a daughter. And the daughter is the person that found mom and dad. It's just horrific. And there's that lovely home. And they lived in the same Brentwood where Nicole Simpson had lived. It's apparently a lovely neighborhood. So, and as if you don't know, they had been at a party the evening before. He had a fight with his son, Nick, and they left the party early. The masseuse came the next day. They had scheduled masseuse, and she didn't show up. Their daughter lived across the street from them, and the masseuse went over to the daughter's house, and their daughter came over and found mom and dad, where they had been unalived. And, you know, the daughter had given the police Nick's name. It said he's dangerous. So they found him, and he's been arrested. Now, we have found out that he has been suffering from addiction since he was a teenager, in and out of endless rehabs. And it did come out that he was a schizophrenic on new medications. I don't know if that's true or not. The family has certainly not given a statement. And his attorney, he had a really high-powered Hollywood attorney, and he withdrew today. So he's got, he doesn't have an attorney. He doesn't have an attorney yet. He's just got court-appointed attorneys, but we'll see what happens with that. So it's just a tragic, tragic story. But let's take a look at his natal chart. I wanted to point out some things. Now, of course, astrology certainly could never, ever diagnose a mental illness, ever. But you can see there are some things in this chart that would kind of make you look at it. Okay, why would I say, what would that be in a chart? For starters, okay, his chart, look at his chart. He is in the 11th house. He is what we call a stellium. He's got his sun, midheaven, Chiron, and the moon all in Virgo. Okay, that's a lot of Virgo and a lot of pressure to be perfect up in that house. Okay. What was going on the night of December? Oh, another thing that's really interesting in his chart, I wanted you guys to take a look at. Look in that pink arrow in the bottom of the chart. where he's got Uranus and Neptune at an exact conjunction. They're exactly together, right? That is that's a marker for an intuitive genius. Okay, intuitive genius, but it's a Capricorn. Intuitive greatness, but his mind would wander. The mind would wander with that Uranus, okay? And it's squaring, look in the 12th house, Mars and Jupiter. Mars would just would expand any anger, right? The 12th house would be a house where you would look for mental things. And it actually is the house of imprisonment, penitentiaries, jail. That square, because it's his third house of communications. So he was a genius. His mind wandered, and he was impulsive. His actions were always misdirected with this aspect, okay? Misdirected energy. He never knew how to get rid of his energy. Risk of escapism. There's one marker right there with that Neptune. Risk of escapism. Big ideas, but he lacked grounding. They never came to fruition because there was never grounding. We also have Saturn in the 4th house. And that is opposing Venus up in the 10th house. I mean, there's a lot of really harsh aspects in his chart. He's got a tough chart, I'll tell you that. He is a rising Scorpio. Pluto and his ascendant conjunct. Again, another marker for drug, any kind of escapism. I'll say escapism. That's just his natal chart, right? What was going on the night of the horrific unaliving? So we have the transit south node, which is up in Virgo, where I circled it. You can see this. South node is your karma. It's your past lives. It's what you came here to release. Is conjunct his midheaven. What's the midheaven? It's when the public sees you. South node indicates a loss. So we've got a loss in the public eye, midheaven, and it's opposing his north node, right? So it's opposing his north node. There's the transit north node, which is in the 5th house. And he's got a 5th house in Pisces. Pisces rules his 5th house, which is, again, escapism. There are drug markers all over this chart. They're just, I'll use the word escapism. So we've got the lunar nodes are really triggered in this chart on that night. Let's see, what else do we have? And that temper with Mars and Jupiter, just it's a temper. And I'll tell you what, we had Uranus on the last arrow. If you look at the last pink arrow, transit Uranus, which is shocking, unexpected. Transit Uranus was conjunct Algol. What did he do? It was what did he do to mom and dad? I don't have to say it. It was the kitchen thing. And Algol that's Algol in a bad form. So it's really, if I looked at this chart, I would say, I'm going to tell you what I think this fight was about. Just looking at this chart was about money. I'm not kidding. I think it was about money. I think it was about money because, we had the sun, we had Mars, and we had Mercury and Venus all transiting his 2nd house. It was money. He wanted money. And this escalated because he got triggered. Now, it could have been because of the medication, like they say, but there are markers all over this chart. I know I got astrologers in here. If you all see anything, let me know what else you see. But I'll tell you what, that Neptune Uranus is genius level. But it just never apparently came out. It never got developed or whatever because of that square with Jupiter and Mars, because of the Mars and Jupiter took over him. He wanted to be balanced with that because of Libra, but just never panned out. Too much escapism. So what else? Transit Jupiter. Okay, transit Jupiter was at the top of his chart, also opposing that Uranus-Neptune, which was just expanding everything. It's all there. It is, everything is there. I'm telling you. Midheaven opposing the North Node. Okay, that's it. That's his chart. It's really a sad chart. It's sad to see. And you know what happens with the stellium in Virgo is they are their worst enemy, because they do nothing but strive for perfection. And a lot of times anything that they accomplish is never, no matter if people say, God, that was great, you did great, it was awesome, it's never good enough for them. And they're their worst enemy. And you know, that's that Virgo stellium, and that's a very strong stellium. Midheaven, moon, sun, that's strong. Of course, Chiron's up there. So that's this wounds. And that's just a sad situation, but it's triggered. Does anybody else see anything in the chart? Lois or Rue or Cindy? Anybody else? Denise? Anybody else see anything in the chart? Crystal? Anybody? I can't even read my... See. Pluto conjunct the rising is... Oh, it's it's obsessive too. Can be very obsessive. That Pluto on the rising, especially in makes it what's strong is Scorpio. It's a ruler. It's crazy. So that's that chart. Do you guys see anything on that or have any comments with them? No, you got him. I'm sorry I used that chart. This was I did this over the holidays, and I was just kind of looking at it, writing on it, and I was looking stuff up, and I should have fixed it and had a prettier chart. And I was like, oh no, I'm still in holiday mode. Still a little bit in holiday mode. Does anybody else have anything to say about that chart? Let's see, what else did I get? Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Here's my heads up for you guys. So for everybody that studies astrology, they already know about this. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys that don't study astrology, January 18th through the 26th. Like I said, we hit the ground running, and it's not going to stop. We have some unique patterns in the sky from the 18th through the 26th that we have never seen before in Western civilization in astrology. This energy is on its way, and it's Pluto. So Pluto can sometimes be a dark, heavier type of an energy. Just know, and it's going to be hitting all the personal planets. So this will affect personal lives. It's going to be in Aquarius. So just know on these weeks, during this time, give yourself grace. If you feel a little down, if it feels heavy, if things are just like, what's going on? If you're getting WTF moments, know that it's quick because it's the personal planets. So they're moving pretty quick over Pluto, and we want them to move over Pluto quick. Just know that these are back to back to back to back transits. So it could get a little weird on these dates. And I rarely tell you guys, give you a heads up. I do sometimes with the eclipses or weird transits with Pluto or Mars, but this one we've never seen. So just yeah. That's like Keith. Pluto breaks down things in order to repair and rebuild. Pluto brings up everything from the bottom of the swamp. Okay, Pluto brings up everything from the bottom of the swamp that we don't want to see. So just be mindful that this could be, Keith is right. If you can get face planted on the concrete, so just be aware and keep your energy high, keep it vibrating high, do things you enjoy. Don't wear black. Don't wear white. Wear light colored clothing. Don't wear black. It's heavy. Look, Florida water. Spraying it already. Oh, Lois, got my Florida water from Amazon. I got a 5-pack. But, oh, hell, I'm getting a 5-pack. I know what 2026 looks like. I got a 5-pack. Isn't that funny? Time to learn about yourself and others. Yeah, this is going to be like the first one is going to be with relationships with Venus. Second one is the sun. The sun illuminates and brings it into our right in front of us. And then we've got Mercury, which is communications with people. Those are heavy conversations. And then last but not least, we got good old Mars bringing up the rear. And that can go, Mars can get violent. So just that weekend, be very, very mindful of crowds on that weekend. Oh, Denise, black is my staple. Well, just then wear something white in your hair. Wear a white hat. Keith, I feel the need to rest and contemplate things. It's okay. Hey, black is Scorpio's color. Yes, it is. Wear white. Wear red. Lois got my 6-pack. Might be enough to get me through the Florida water. Hey, this is it. Florida water, spray it. I spray it. I've been spraying it for a week. I'm like building up a shield. We'll make it. It's the unknown. That's what it is. I'm going to have my situation board ready to rock and roll. Yeah, here's Lee. I don't do crowds, just caves. You sound like a Scorpio. Scorpios hang out in caves. Keith said. Lois said, got my 6-pack, might be enough to get me through. And Keith said, yes. Yes. Well, you guys just be mindful. We'll get through it. If we can get to like August. I'm kidding. We got a couple breaks in March. Here's Lisa. I don't even like the grocery store. Get delivery. I'm going to get where you just go up and they bring it to your car. I'm not going to people at all. My flannel is red for my root chakra support. Good. Well, you guys just be safe and be careful. We'll be on next week. I'll show it to you. I'll do a chart and show it to you. Just not the front tire. Just be safe. Does anybody else have anything they want to add to the Reiners or to the Tepes? I'll keep you all posted. But thanks you guys for joining. I'm glad to be back after 2 weeks off. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Don't forget Cindy's show is on Monday night. She's got a great new show. Glad she's feeling better. Kathy, all I wear is black everything. I'm telling you guys, put something white on. Even if it's a headband. I don't care. You don't have to wear. You can find something light colored to put on, a light colored bracelet. a headband, a hat, something light colored. Look, I'm wearing black right now. Look, I got my Bengals shirt on. Just be careful. We'll watch this. But Lee says, Kath, I'm sending all yellow clothes. Check your vehicles over. Yeah. Just be mindful. We'll be fine. We'll be good. It's fast. They move pretty quickly. It's just a week. So, oh, Denise, you're so sweet. Look at that. Great to have you back. Thanks for the updates. Everybody stay healthy, keep smiling, keep vibing high. And thanks for tuning in. I missed you guys. I missed the show. So we'll be back. There's a lot of true crime out there right now. We got a lot of cases to look at. There's a lot going on. Oh, I have one white shirt and it's gray now from engine grease. Wear a white hat. Oh, for the love of Pete. Lois says, please, not a tire. No, I know. I hear you, Lois. Thanks, Joni. Happy New Year, everybody. You too, Lisa Hahn. Oh, you're welcome. And we got a lot to cover. We've got some other cases next week, too. There's a lot of true crime going on right now. But here we go again. We're in eclipse season, kids. So you know what happens. We get really busy on true crime in eclipse season. I'm feeling like out of the water now. My hearing is back in my left ear. Yes, I'm out of the water now. Poor Cindy has had such a bad sinus infection and just a rough couple of weeks with sinuses. Hearing is back in her left ear. Girl, that is so annoying to have your ears stopped up. Everybody take care. Enjoy this weather. It's warm here, but it won't be over the weekend. Keep spraying, everybody. Oh, I got it. I have my Florida water. This is the orange flavored. Oh, it's wonderful. Florida water is the best. But you guys take care. Have a great week. Keep smiling and keep vibing. That's how you get over all this stuff. Be kind and keep vibing. So I will see you guys next Wednesday. We'll do some more true crime. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. And I will see you guys, if I can work this, see you guys next week. Thanks a million. See you